Hello. Hey, everyone. I am Alena Chapman, and I'm actually here in, well, excuse me. I am here in Ottawa now. Anyway, first of all, and this is Elena's book club. So I am welcoming you here. I am happy to have you. First of all, I'm going to try and get some better light here because I'm in a room that I'm not familiar with and I'm getting a lot of weird lights. So let me see if I can just move this slightly so that you can get a little, I think that's better. Then you're not like seeing this white stuff on my face. All right. First of all, since it's just turned 1, I thought it would be really cool to tell you and have you kind of get onto the chat. I would love to know yours. What you're grateful for. What you're grateful for, just to start. I wanted to say that I am so happy and grateful. By the way, that's a great way to start it. I am so happy and grateful now that I have wonderful friends and mentors in my life that I do. Awesome, awesome people because I'm up here in Ottawa and I've been surrounded by very wonderful people that are my friends and wonderful people that I call mentors that help me. So I would love to hear what you're grateful for because that starts us out in the right vibration, the right vibration to start to learn more, and the right vibration to see our opportunities always. So if you can name one thing that you're grateful for, that's a really good start. So to start the book club, if you wouldn't mind typing that in, that would be very cool. And I'll talk while you're thinking about what you're grateful for. That would be very neat. I know there's only 2 of us on at the moment, so we'll get some more. Just to remind you, we are reading Your in Power. There it is right here by Genevieve Berendt. And she talks a lot about visualization. All right, so we are reading this book. I also want to let you know I'm going to be following this book pretty much by chapter. We might not read everything in every chapter, but we are going to be reading chapter to chapter because there's a lot of good stuff. And I'm hoping that every time we read more and study it a little bit, we start to open up how to use this tool in our lives. Oh, and hey, I have got a really cool exercise for you that I discovered, and I want to tell you about it. And I'm going to tell you towards the end after we talk about the book, and then you'll understand some more things, and then I'll give you this really cool exercise. Okay, I'm very excited about that. So now, if you don't have this book and you want to have this book, would you in the chat box you should also see a link that you can download the book and so you can follow along better with me. So can we show that in the chat box? Show that beautiful link so that people can download this book and we can get started on this whole book club in a minute. All right. Well, all right. Now let me see if I know where that chat box is because I would like to show you that link. Where is that chat box? All right. Nope, it is nowhere on here. Wunderbar. All right, guys. I'll start reading. I'm hoping that that chat box will open up any minute now. And there it is. All right. And I'm looking for the link that people can download this book, which I just announced. So if we can get that link for that book, for the book we're reading, Your Invisible Power, so that people can follow along with me, that would be just awesome. So guys, that should be coming up real soon. And I'm going to leave the chat box off. There it is. Awesome. So go ahead and download. And I still do not see any wonderful gratitudes there, guys. The other thing I'd like to start us on is I'd like, believe it or not, for you to just kind of Breathe and close your eyes for a second and just be grateful now that we get to join together, unity, basically, in unity for discovery and enlightenment so that we can create in our lives the things that we really want to achieve or have, that together we're learning. You can open your eyes. That's cool. All right, I'm going to start. This program lasts from about 30 minutes to 45 at the very max. I'd like to make it about 35, okay? All right, we are going to start on chapter 3, and that is page 23. This is a cool chapter because it's called Relation Between Mental and Physical Form. I like this chapter because he says in this chapter is it makes it more concrete, or what she says in this chapter. Both of them talk, Troward and Genevieve. She talked about him too. That's why I did that. But it's it brings to light what that this is real, that this creation into the physical form is real. And it also okays a lot of the things that we might feel a little guilty about trying to create in our lives. Okay, here we go. Some persons feel that it's not quite proper to visualize for things. It starts right away. It's too material, they say. Why? Material form is necessary for the submission of spirit from the individual standpoint, and this is the means through which the creative process is carried forward. Therefore, far from matter being an illusion and something which ought to be, matter is the necessary channel for the self-differentiation of spirit. Okay, let's kind of look at that for a minute here, okay? What is he saying? Matter is important. Matter is the proof of creation, to put it very simply. Matter is proof of creation. It is not an illusion. It is something that has come from first thought, clicking into that thinking, that one source, that infinite source, and then starting a creative process into the energy, the formless energy, and then it comes down to form matter. Okay? So everything you see is a creation. Everything. The trees, the grass. We'll talk more about that. The table, the chairs, our lives, us, we're creation. Okay? And it's the proof. And it makes the difference between spirit, in the spirit realm, God, substance, to tangible, touchable, feeling, physical, where we live. Okay? All right. However, it is not my desire to lead you into a lengthy and tiresome scientific reasoning. I love that. In order to remove the mystery from visualization and to put it upon a logical foundation. Naturally, each individual will do this in his own way. My only wish is to point out to you the easiest way I know, which is the road on which Troward guides me. All right, really quick. And this is very true. Even if I gave you the scientific reasons, even if I told you my logical of all this, you have to discover it on your own. And the more that you do it and start seeing it happen in your life, the more you will come to your own logical conclusion as to why this is happening. All right. Raymond Hollowell, I think it was Raymond Hollowell, I'm pretty sure. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, thank you. He said that um, everything that we everything that we do is called magic. As soon or a mystery, and as soon as we figure it out and we figure out how easy it is, we come to our own thoughts on how it is happening. It's not a mystery anymore. It's not magic. So it's the same thing with visualization. It's not magic. It's not a mystery. It's only a mystery to us because we haven't figured it out totally. All right. So keep an open mind. Start to learn, and you'll come to your own way of understanding. Now, okay, let me get this back here so I can read. Um, all right. I feel sure you will conclude, as I have, that the only mystery in connection with visualization or visualizing is the mystery of life taking form. And that is very magical. Governed by unchangeable and easily understood laws. Now, what laws is she talking about? She's talking about the laws of the universe. The laws of the universe. Perpetual mutation thinking. Okay. The law of cause and effect. The law of giving and receiving. The law of opposites. By the way, and I'll do a little plug, my podcast show, which is Live and Love Life with Alena Chapman. I'm actually doing the laws of the universe. All right, I'm explaining them so that people can understand. If you add us plus the laws of plus actively making our dreams come true through visualization and taking the steps towards it. You add those three things, and that's what creates the magic. That's when you see it all happen. So tune into both. We all possess more power and greater possibilities than we realize. And visualizing is one of the greatest of these powers. It brings other possibilities to our observation. When we pause to think for a moment, we realize that for a cosmos to exist at all, it must be the outcome of the cosmic mind, which binds all individual minds to a certain generic unity of action, thereby producing all things as realities and nothing as illusions. All right. What they're saying is that infinite source, that thinking substance, that that higher mind, that divine source. Everybody has a different name. I call it God. Female, male, it's God to me. But everybody has their own name. But it's one central force that we click into. And not with need. Not with need. When you start your visualizations, you don't start with need. If you come with need, then that's what you'll receive, more need. But if you come with a visualization that it is happening, that's when you click in that it's happening. All right. All right. If you will take this thought of Trowards and meditate upon it without prejudice, you will surely realize that concrete material from form is an absolute necessity of the creative process. Also, that matter is not an illusion, but a necessary channel through which life differentiates itself. Okay? It's proof of our creation. It's the differentiation of all of our different ideas and thoughts, what we've clicked into. It's the difference of making things physical from the spiritual. I hope that's clear. Anytime you can type in questions and I will try to answer them because I know this stuff can be very ethereal, kind of high up there, and you're thinking, what does she mean? And, but really, it's very concrete, okay? Just ask your questions and I'll answer them the very best I possibly can. All right, let's see here. I lose my place. Not good. Creative process. So, okay. If you consider matter in its right order as a polar opposite to spirit, you will not find any antagonism between the two. On the contrary, together they constitute one harmonious whole. And when you realize this, you feel in your practice of working from cause to effect, from beginning to end. In reality, your mental picture is the specialized outworking of the originating spirit. One could talk for hours on purely scientific lines, showing, as Troward says, that raw material for the formation of the solar system is universally distributed throughout all spaces. Yet investigation shows that while the heavens are studded with millions of suns, there are spaces which show no signs of cosmic activity. This being true, there must be something which started cosmic activity in certain places, while passing over others in which the raw material was equally available. Why is that? At first thought, one might attribute the development of cosmic energy to the etheric particles themselves. But upon investigation, however, we find that this is mathematically impossible in a medium which is equally distributed throughout space. It's equally distributed. So why is there creation in one part of the space and not the other? All right, so for all the particles are in equilibrium. Therefore, no one particle is in itself a greater power of originating motion than the others. Thus we find that the initial movement, though working in and through the particles of primary substance, is not the particles themselves. It is this something we mean when we speak of spirit. Now, all that was the scientific philosophy and scientific. I think if you understand that nothing could come into being without the creative process, and where does that creative process start? Before we were even here. How did the sky become the sky? How did the stars become the stars? How did the wonderful, oh gosh, the sun become the sun? It is totally because of the thinking into it, the creating, the creating. And what did it? It has to be that one source, as they says, spirit, that one creative source we have to tap into, and the spirit in ourselves that links us up to it. Okay? This same power that brought universal substance into existence will bring your individual thought or mental picture into physical form. There is no difference in the power. There isn't. The power, the only difference is a difference of degree. The power and the substance themselves are the same. Only in working out your mental picture, it has transferred its creative energy from the universal to the particular and is working in the same unfeeling manner from its specific center, your mind, your thinking, perpetual transmutation. All right? I drew a diagram. I want to show you. If you, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. Oh, not so hot. Let me pull it back. Can you see it if I pull it back? All right. This is the physical plane right here. Whoops, I'm doing this in a mirror. This is the physical plane. This is our mental or mental or intellect. And this up here is spirit. Everything, whoops, on this side, everything is connected. We're connected through vibration. We're connected through spirit. And it's one and the same through the physical plane down. We take whatever is in our physical plane, our circumstances. We take them down here. These are our circumstances. Do we want to think of our circumstances? No. Instead, we go to our intellect. We start there. We start making our circumstances what we want. We want to be a writer. We want to have lots of money. That seems to be the thing for people. We want, or we just want to have happiness. We start here, we start mentally visualizing that happiness, that just feeling joy in our life every day. We start really visualizing it. We send it up to spirit, up to that central thought. It's all one. It's all one. And then as we think and think in this, keep it consistent with our will, and we become the happiness we begin, it starts coming down into physical form, and it becomes our new circumstances in our physical form. Okay? I know it's a crude drawing, but I hope it helped. So that should make a little more clear of what Genevieve's talking about and the power we have within. And then this I love. We're moving on to chapter 4. I don't have the chat box. I'd love to, if you want to ask questions between chapters, like right now would be an excellent time to ask questions. If there are any questions, I would love to know. And I'll wait just 1 second. Because gosh, the questions are important if you have any. No? Okay, we'll read on. Operation of your mental picture. Now we're going to get personal. The operation of a large telephone system may be used as a simile. The main or head central, the main operating center, okay, subdivides itself into many branch centrals. Every branch being in direct connection with the main central means it's all connected to one source. And each individual branch, recognizing the source of its existence, reports all things to the head, the central head. Therefore, when assistance of any nature is required, new supplies, difficult repairs to be done, or whatnot, the branch in need goes at once to the central head. Doesn't stay there and say, "Ooh, I think I need a art." "Oh, I don't really like what's going on here. I need to change this." It doesn't stay down there and say, "Man, this is really a bum rap. My circuits aren't working. We can't get these calls through." It doesn't stay there. No, it goes right to the central source. All right. It would not think of referring its difficulties, here we go, or its successes to the main central of the telegraphic system. Though they might belong to the same organization, these different branches centrals known that the only remedy for any difficulty must come from the center out of which they were projected and to which they are always attached. Perfect. Perfect example. I can't say it better. If we as individual branches of the universal mind would refer our difficulties in the same confident manner to the source from which we were projected and use the remedies which it has provided, you would realize that Jesus meant when he said, "Ask and you shall receive." It makes, you know, I read this and I think, my gosh, it's so easy. And yet so many of us don't get it. Or we lose the faith to carry through it. It's so incredibly easy. It's it's just the concept is easy. The only trick to it is us. How strong is our will? How strong is it that we want something? How strong are we at looking at what we want versus what we don't want and training ourselves? How good are we at training ourselves? That's what it is. That's the only thing. And then if you open up to this, believe in it, and make that your total direction in attaining what you want, imagine what you create. That's where Steve Jobs used to live. That's where the Wright brothers live. That's where men and women of vision live. They live in that place, that thinking creative space. They don't live down here saying, "Oh my gosh, look at these wars." They don't live there. They live way up there thinking, gaining peace, gaining peace, bringing peace to our land, doing what they can. And they are. They're bringing a little more peace here, a little more peace there. But we've got so many others thinking, bring war. And that's a creation too. That is a creation. It is up to us. What do we want to create? Because everything will come to pass. Everything. A man came to me in great distress, saying he was about to lose his home in the South. In his own words, it was mortgaged to the hilt, and his creditors were going to foreclose. It was the house in which he had been born and had grown to young manhood, and the thought of losing it filled his heart and mind with sorrow. I can imagine. Not only from a money standpoint, get rid of this, um, but from the standpoint of sentimental association. I explained to him that the power that brought him into existence did so for the purpose of expressing its limitless supply through him. Okay? That there was no power on earth which could cut him off from his source except his own consciousness. Ah, big key there, his own consciousness. Ah, we are the ones that cut ourselves off. And that in reality, he would not be cut off then. I explained to him that he had it, but was unable to recognize that it was there. And he said, and said to him, infinite substance is manifesting in you right now. Infinite substance is manifesting in you right now. Isn't that amazing? Right now, it's right there. And everything you want to create is right here. The next week on Sunday, just before leaving my dressing room in the Selvin Theater, I think it is, to give my afternoon message, I received the following note. Dear Mrs. Brent, I want you to know that I am the happiest man in the whole city of New York. My home in the South is saved. The money came in the most miraculous way, and I have telegraphed enough to pay off the mortgage. Please tell the people this afternoon about this wonderful power. You may be sure I did, explaining to them that everything animate or inanimate is called into existence or outstandingness by a power, capital P, which itself does not stand out. The power which creates the mental picture, the originating spirit substance of your picture, desires, does not stand out. It projects the substance of itself, which is solidified counterpart of itself, while it, the power, remains invisible to the physical eye. Those will appreciate the value of visualizing who are able to realize Paul's meaning when he said, the words were formed by the word of God. Things which are seen are not made of things which do appear. Faith, believing, putting your visualization strong into the central source, the central center, the infinite source, straight up there and believing, and it will come into form. I want to talk about one thing though. A lot of times we will visualize and we want it to come one way. You can't do that. You can't do that because you just can't. You can put, that's why that's why so many people say don't um, focus on the how. Start acting and going towards it in your plans, but keep your mind open while you're going forward in your dreams and acting in the motions and doing the different things you think you need to do. That's you becoming. It firms your faith. It firms that this will happen. But then keep your opportunities open because you just might not know how the universe is going to bring this thought, this desire of yours into physical form. You might be very surprised. There are many, many times in my life I think, oh my gosh, what if I had decided not to take that opportunity? None of this would have happened. What if I decided it was actually um, when I decided to, I taught at an organization called Right Relations, where I helped people get along better in their lives. Um, they weren't doing very well in the courtroom, so it was through the court system. And they asked me to come teach. I taught self-esteem, valuing yourself, that kind of thing. Anyway, I did that for 2.5 years, but it was a wonderful experience. I met incredible people. I saw that all the tools I had been learning were coming alive. I mean, it was a phenomenal experience. But how it came to me, how it came to me was not through such good things. I mean, it was through the divorce process when one side was trying to punish me, and I said, "Well, listen, if I'll go, I'll be open to it." I took the opportunity. I said, "Well, yeah, if he will go, I'll go. No problem. I'm open to it." So I went and didn't take it as a punishment. I took it as, okay, I'll try this, and I went, and it turned out to be the proof. If I hadn't had that experience, I probably wouldn't have written the book because this proved to me these tools work. Isn't that cool? So you have to be open. You have to be open. Even though you're taking the steps, new things will appear. Okay? We went off on a tangent. I'm sorry. But here we go. Now I'm on the bottom or the last paragraph on page 28. There is nothing unusual or mysterious in the idea of your pictured desire coming into material evidence. I agree. It is the working of a universal natural law. Simple as that. The world was projected by the self contemplation of the universal mind. Okay? And this same action is taking place in its individualized branch, which is the mind of man. Everything in the whole world, from the hat on your head to the boots on your feet, and has its beginning in mind and comes into existence in exactly the same manner. All are projected thoughts. Your personal evolution depends upon your right use of the power of visualizing, and your use of it depends on whether you recognize that you yourself are a particular center through which the originating spirit is finding ever new expression for potentialities already existing within itself. This is evolution. You have the power. You have the power. There's a really cool exercise I should give you at the end here. I think what we'll do is we'll try and get to a little bit in this chapter. This one's a long chapter. Yep. And what time do we have? Okay. You know what? I'm going to stop here because there's two things I wanted to tell you. And I think you're going to like. First of all, for those of you who are having trouble visualizing, I tried something out and I want to tell you about it. I'm so excited. Tape it. This is what I did. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I thought, and I was getting unfocused. I know what I wanted to visualize, but yet, thoughts kept coming in. And it wasn't negative stuff. It was just like I couldn't stay on track. My mind would not stay on the visualization. There has to be an easier way. Something is not right here. So I got out my computer and I got on Audacity, which is a recording thing, and I started recording my visualization. I started out with, "Hello, God. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am helping millions to achieve the lives they love with abundance and find their inner freedom." And then I went on and on and on in the life that I'm creating. Okay. So every time, oh, and then I went on the meditation channel and I brought in music. I think I put the music and then I spoke. Either way, but I have music now behind my visualization, music that calms me. So as soon as I press that little button, I get into a comfortable position. I start that tape. I hear the music. My body triggers it. And then I listen and I feel and I repeat in my mind. And sometimes I even say it, whatever I'm saying on the tape, but I feel it. And I'm so happy and I'm so grateful. And I just feel the excitement and I feel the joy. I'm internalizing. I'm becoming more. And I'm sending a great, perfect move up to the source so that it can be created. Okay? So if you're having trouble focusing your mind, getting yourself to just to sit down and do the visualization, try this. Try this. And when you're speaking on the microphone, when you do the microphone, when you're talking on it, then you're speaking, so it's much easier to keep on track. So if you can do that, then you'll have something for always, and you can always change it. It's cool. It's very cool. So that was my one helpful hint. And for those of you who still want to stay on, I've got a really cool exercise to find the inner inner power, the inner awesomeness of you, if you want to try. So if you want to stay on for just 4 minutes more, okay, and we'll do this. Okay, sit back and close your eyes. Relax your shoulders because I do, and take 2 deep breaths in and out, and in and out. And with your eyes still closed, I want you to pretend you're looking in a mirror. See all the beauty, your hair, your smile, your eyes, the true beauty of you, the true physical beauty. And then, with a deep breath, feel that beautiful white light in your abdomen. Allow this light to grow. Allow it to rise up. Allow it to fill your heart. Allow it to grow big, big. It's even coming outside. It's all around you. This light can't be contained. Big, beautiful light. Now look at its beauty. See its creativity. See how it wants to grow. And feel its love. Feel its power. Its power comes from its love and its creativity. And feel how it's uninhibited by anything. It just wants to be. This big, beautiful white light is you. It is your divine. It is what goes up to source. It is part of source. It's part of God. You have God inside of you. This is your divineness. It's what you're all about. You have the power to create. Now relax in your eyes when you're ready. Very good. Very good. So whenever you doubt or think you can't create, look at that power inside of you, that beautiful, awesome power, because that's the power you're tapping into, and you have it. All right, guys, another wonderful book. Thank you for attending. I'm so honored. And if you have any questions, go to Alena Chapman Life, tap right into the contact section. There's a contact tab, and you can write me a message, and we will return very fast to you. I will return very fast to you. And I don't know if we have the chat box there, if we can just pull it up. If anybody has any questions right now that I can answer quickly, I will. I don't know where the chat box is. Oh, there it is. Okay. And nobody has any questions? Okay. All right. Have an awesome, wonderful day. Let me know if I can help you in any other way to help you achieve the life you want to have. Bye bye now. Make it an awesome week. Bye bye.